This is topical issue, and I'm going to talk about design a human process, design a human's process for the future and the present. This may be strange to others, but many people have heard of this. Nowadays, people who do not want, mostly women who do not want to be involved with men, or they see a certain man with certain characteristics that are desirable and may not want to marry him. Some are making contracts. They go and he sells his sperms, and just the way people do in artificial insemination, she is able to be injected with that, conceive, so that she carries a child with the genes of that man. It's being done. There are also sperm banks, where now a woman who does not want to involve herself with men but wants to have children can still go and they'll look at the features of each man. Men donate and they're paid money. I think it's even happening in Kenya, because sperms can be stored in a liquid nitrogen for a long time. So if they are healthy and everything is that way and the person is healthy, one is able to sell. And then a lady who wants can be able to go and buy and be injected, and she'll conceive somebody with the characteristics that she wants. That is being done. The science has gone to such an extent that in some countries, people are now looking, experiments are being done. I don't know if it has become commercial, but experiments are being done. You can have a designer baby. You want a baby with certain kind of eyes, certain kind of nose, a certain kind of chin, things like that. There can be a changing of genes to achieve the desired effect. This can also be done to include the genetic parts that deal with intelligence. You want somebody of high intelligence. There is a fear that this might cause in future people who may be totally different, because there are others who will be engineered to be highly intelligent with specific characters. Let's say you want somebody who is very muscular, you want somebody who can do other things, you involve the genes. And in future, people may be thinking of involving genes from other species of animals, because after mapping the gene, it has been noted that you can be able to get genes from a different animal, inject them into these ones, or change different desirable genes, and still this creature, be it a human being, will take in those things, remain human, but with those characteristics. For instance, if one gets the genes that enable things, the fish, some fishes in the sea that can be able to see through the dark, or something like a lion you can have, or cat-like thing, you can have a vision stronger than that of a normal person in the night. If one wants something to be visible, it has been tried with rats. I think this one has also, it's being expanded to human. A jellyfish glows in water in dark places. Rats have been injected with that gene, and In darkness, they will glow. You will see the rat moving. So these interchangeable things are being planned for the future. Some are done outside the boundaries of any country because many countries have prohibited gerrymandering of human genes, but they're taken out into the ocean, into the sea, no man's land. Some people are able to go with ships there and do their experiments. If people want injection of that nature or an implant of such a nature, they can go and do it there and then come back when you have conceived. This may have very good qualities and may have very bad effects also in future. Because what some people have been thinking is that you can be cloned, because cloning needs any cell, even your skin cell. When it's injected into an ova, it will be able to grow something, somebody, exactly like you. Though cloning has not been 100% successful, the one of a sheep that was done dolly, it had many defects, but a part of the sheep was taken and injected into the ova, and a sheep similar to that came out of it, genetically same. So there are thoughts of people who may think their plans. Some scientists have been talking of that if you realize you may need spare parts, you can clone yourself. But then what happens to the cloned person, because this is also a person with an identity? There are those things that are their ethical questions. We've been having problems of organs. Scientists have experimented and they have realized that a pig has many similar characteristics to a human being. For instance, I don't know if you heard of a patient who had a heart implanted, and after some time, when he was in dire condition, they removed the heart and gave him the heart of a pig, and he survived for some time with the heart of the pig. So it has been realized that a pig has many organs that are similar to human, interchangeable, because you don't have that idea of rhesus factor. You know, for a human being, you can exchange an organ and the body of that person rejects the organ. But the scientists have realized that a pig can be treated in that in the embryo it's given human genes. For instance, if you want it for blood transfusion, you put human genes so that the blood type is human type. Or if you want certain organs, they are human type. So if we advance with that, maybe in future we shall have problems, because you may end up with an animal that is a pig but genetically human. So ethically we should be looking at these things, because the experiments are moving on, things are happening, and there's a likelihood of that coming to be. When I was talking of the other place, or this one should have been in the other place, but it's okay. We also talk of organs. When you get organs also, there are characteristics of people. In the past, people used to think that our characteristics are only in the brain. But for people who have had transplant of big organs, let's say like the heart, like the liver, you tend to take on dual characteristics. Your characteristics and the characteristics of the person who had that heart or that liver. So you'll find some behaviors that were not yours, but now you are partaking to those behaviors. Everybody seeing you is surprised, because some of those characteristics are stored in these organs. So we should have ethical thoughts about that. And as we people grow up, we don't have to be surprised like in Africa where we have been surprised with things like homosexuality, lesbianism. It took us as a shock. But now it's there. Whether we like it or not, it's there. So we should be prepared for eventualities like these ones. How will human beings take this? It's better to look ahead before we are surprised, because genetically those things are being done to a lesser extent. But eventually, because human beings are perfecting genetic science, we shall be faced with these problems in the near future. Experiments are going on. So it will be good if the world will discuss the ethics on these issues, so that we know this is how far a person should go. One should not go this far. And in such a situation, let's say for a pig that is a donor for blood, a donor for the heart, because it's being bred for that, how do we distinguish it from human? These are ethical issues that we should be concerned with, discuss, make laws about, before they take us by surprise. Let's plan in advance. It's God's will, it's God's giving us the ability to think that way, to manipulate the genetic makeup of animals, human, for spare parts, for intelligence, for resistance against diseases. But we also have to have some limitations, an in-house thing, make rules before, because we may be caught in a situation like this. Others came to Africa, at least America and the other places had adjusted fast, but to us we are still adjusting. So it's better we look ahead and think along those lines, because those things are happening. Science has advanced, and it's advancing for the benefit of human beings, but then also there are some things that may cause confusion, quagmires in our life and our reasoning, and putting a divide, which is an animal, which is human. That's my take for now.